This time next week, we'll be in a new year, feet firmly planted on a path to achieving our life goals. Just remember, if you stay the course with confidence and hard work, success is almost certain. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkins, and thanks for joining us for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. On the pages today, nurturing the spirit of entrepreneurship. We'll point you in the right direction for 2015, your year to start that journey to greatness. Plus, some simple steps to becoming financially independent. Sit back and relax. Jamaica Magazine starts right now.
Strong families are important to the development of our society, and the National Family Planning Board wants you to be healthy and achieve your goals. Make the right reproductive health choices. Help eradicate poverty, improve maternal health, and reduce child death by avoiding unintended pregnancies. Waiting until you're financially, physically, and emotionally mature to become a mother. And protecting against diseases such as HIV and AIDS. Exercise your right to plan stable families for the future, being mindful that children need nurturing environments for proper growth and development. Consider your health, the timing, spacing, and number of children as you plan. Be empowered. Contact the National Family Planning Board at 5 Sylvan Avenue, Kingston 5, P.O. Box 287. Telephone 968-1627 or visit them online at www.jnfpb.com.
Young people, 2015 is your year. Yes, you heard me. 2015 is the year to start that business. You've had the ideas for the longest time, and you know you have the drive to succeed. So don't wait. Starting early and starting small means learning and practicing the right business principles. More on that in this next feature.
The foundations of corporate empires are usually rooted in the minds of young, bright men and women who've dared the risks of becoming entrepreneurs. First, identifying opportunities that can create wealth, products and services that are in demand, and meeting those needs with unique innovation. Planning and establishing a business is no easy task, and operating successfully for any extended period is an even tougher job. But Jamaica's youth entrepreneurship policy and strategy gives young people with good business ideas a chance to operate more thriving long-term businesses and create their own income. Youth entrepreneurship is encouraged by both public and private organizations. It is also being fostered within schools and communities to instill the business bug early. And with more young persons owning businesses, they'd be helping to drive economic development and job creation, all of which can make a difference in the lives of other people. And that explains why support has been growing in areas of financing for startup and business experience. Government over the years has established various agencies for helping the youth set up and run their businesses. The National Center for Youth Development, NCYD, for example, continues to empower youth in entrepreneurship. Both attached and unattached young people are able to benefit from access to information through the establishment of youth information centers across the island and various programs that include training. Government has partnered with organizations such as Jamaica Youth Business Trust to provide venture capital funds for persons under the age of 30, collateral requirement being only a sound business plan and a willingness to accept a mentor from the private sector. There is also the Youth Entrepreneurship Program, YEP, giving school leavers at the secondary and tertiary levels with strong entrepreneurial spirits the benefit of training and access to financing. Youths also have access to various business support services provided by the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, the premier business support organization. From the conception of a business idea, young entrepreneurs can get help through the stages of developing the business, planning, financing, starting, marketing, and growing. Indeed, the window of opportunity is open for all youths to access business support at the highest professional levels.
My mother taught me how to work for what I want. And if you don't work for it, then you don't deserve it.
They always tell me, be yourself. Don't try to be like others.
They help me through tough times, good time, bad time, they're always there for me.
Once the family is good, teach the children the right things, then them can grow up on the right.
It's customary. We flood our thoughts with them. We write them down so we don't forget. It's the things we resolve to do in the new year to improve our lives. An item on that list could be educational improvement. For those of you who may still be undecided, here's a little encouragement.
It's life in the fast lane. For ambitious people, determined to seize every opportunity to progress, tactically assessing the past while passionately commanding future goals, their academic ambitions among them.
I wanna rule my destiny. Yeah, I wanna rule my destiny.
There are distractions and hindrances, circumstantial and financial, that can prevent persons from advancing their academic goals. But in the midst of it all, it's important to build a momentum to stay the course and achieve your full potential.
There are so many tertiary institutions that offer a variety of programs, skill building, not just academics. There are ways in which I think our young people can better advance themselves, and it is imperative in a society that we live in now and in the global environment that students do try to access tertiary education. It's for their own good and it's for the good of the country as well.
One effective tool used by a lot of people to uplift themselves is that of making resolutions, turning a new leaf, as some people say. A promise to ourselves to kick bad habits and focus on getting important things done.
Yo, my youth, you know big man thing. I beat some books and all now. My African teen medication. Where that one?
You're true thing you're saying. Education is key, man. Life would be so much better.
Mr. Reed, you know. Picture me 10 years from now, you know. An international banking tycoon.
Wow. Same.
Right now there are many programs in the tertiary sector which help them to become entrepreneurs. They are able to perform in the arts. I mean, the world is their oyster. There are just so many avenues that you can channel yourselves into. I suppose now persons have to be thinking a lot more on self-reliance. So it's not just about going to find a job, it's also how can I do something for myself to enhance my own development.
Every youth want get them own a residence, and if America can get a black president, that means anything possible. So from the mind conceive.
Successful completion of secondary education paves the way for entry into tertiary studies and gainful employment. Work becomes important where the finances are found wanting, but one has to guard against it becoming a hindrance to gaining higher education.
I want to ensure that my academic pursuits are number one.
My intention is really to graduate with first-class honors. Matter of fact, I want to be valedictorian.
Interesting.
That sounds good. Well, you know, for me, when I leave you next year, what greater accomplishment can I feel than being knowledgeable, skilled, and, you know, be competent at the highest level?
True, true.
So let's look forward to next year.
Next year it is.
Next year it is.
Right.
All right, well, I tell you.
And go to
It's
class.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Higher levels of education and training allows for the enrichment of individual achievers. On a national scale, it's fuel for collective social and economic progress. We may not be able to save up all the money we need to finance our academic fees, but that should not stop us from moving forward. Agencies like the Student Loan Bureau can help. It's the key government institution for financing tertiary education.
The Students' Loan Bureau is established to assist persons who are needy, persons who cannot necessarily afford tertiary level education. We are designed to assist primarily those persons. However, we are also here to assist persons who are self-employed who may need to go to tertiary level education and they cannot afford to do so on their own.
To advance, you can't afford to, as they say, drop the ball or lose faith in becoming the best. Learning is not limited to any age group or particular phase in life. Most universities support this idea by providing programs tailored to meet the needs of a diverse student base. And accredited tertiary level training institutions like mine are helping persons working in the public and private sector, offering courses at subsidized fees.
We provide quality leadership and management training to ensure the efficiency, the full development of professionals within the public service.
Every week there's a new course or program starting at Mind. For our associate degrees and postgraduate diplomas, however, typically our enrollment periods are January and September.
So I've made my choice. Education is key. Now I need a loan.
In order to access a student's loan, what you would have to do between the months of January to April of each year, you visit our website www.slbja.com and you complete the application form online and you submit it online.
So is that all a person needs to get a loan?
They would need to have a TRN, they must be 16 and over, they must be able to prove that they have applied to a tertiary level institution. If they are under the age of 18, their parents need to sign the declaration form for them. They also need to be able to provide us with all of the required documents listed on the website.
Outside of the Students' Loan Bureau, the Ministry of Finance is an available option for academic scholarships and bursaries. So, bachelor's, master's, doctorate. Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
We're still on New Year's resolutions and the list of must-dos for 2015. That list should most certainly include smarter financial decisions. After all, that's the path to financial independence. More on that next.
But that EG fella, when one shot.
Hard one. Oh boy, that thing that we important to make the money and go buy foolishness.
It's the no money but enough things to buy period. How do you balance the equation? The first thing you need to do is create a budget and stick to it. It's just a matter of looking at your expenditures and how you're going to pay for them.
Well, first of all, you need to pay yourself first. For the absolutely critical expenses like your utility bills, your rent, putting aside the money for your bus fare and your taxi fare and your lunch, those need to come out, because at the end of the day, if you don't have those, then you probably won't have a job.
Then you need to set aside money for a rainy day, just in case something unexpected occurs.
If my living expenses is 30% of my income, then I need to have, roughly that amount set aside. Roughly maybe 4 or 5 times that amount set aside in a rainy day fund or in an account that I'm not going to touch.
Pencil, paper and a calculator will do the trick. But if you want to be a little more techno-savvy than that, you can use Microsoft Excel or an online budget calculator.
By writing it down or by putting it down on paper, you will be able to see where it is that you can actually make some savings, because you will recognize that, I've been spending 5% of my income on whatever it is, which is not a necessity.
You might argue that you take advantage of discounts in order to cut back on expenses, but that discount may not quite be the bargain you think.
It may be that retailer or that person selling that item actually had a higher price than the average in the market, and what they have done is given a discount, and their discount has just come back in line with market, while if you had shopped around, you would have gotten it for a much cheaper price.
Also, the product may not be of a high quality, so look more closely at those so-called discounts.
Now, from time to time, you hear people complaining that they cannot save. Their expenses far outweigh their income. So is saving really realistic? Yes, it is. This adage couldn't have phrased it better. One cocoa, full basket.
It's not true that you need to have $10,000 to start. You can start with 100, 500. You just put it aside and you keep adding to it. Because if you think about it, if someone were to come to you every day and beg you for $1 for 20 years, how much money would that be?
Another suggestion, ignore things that aren't important or absolutely necessary.
Okay, I go out and I see that bag or that shoe or that shirt that I want to buy. I think I really need it, but then when I think about the fact that I have $500 saved and I really wanted to have $1,000 saved by the end of the month, and if I buy the shirt, then obviously I'm subtracting away from my saving or my investment, and you make the sacrifice.
Now, savings should not be confused with investments.
Saving is basically taking your money and putting it in a safe investment, so the primary objective there is preservation of your principal or your capital. So your objective is not to lose it, but it's also not to grow it significantly. So you're not taking on a lot of risk. Investing now is when you have a plan, and you're trying to reach an objective, and then you're trying to work out what is the rate that I need to earn in order to achieve this objective.
Let's put it another way. For savings, you pretty much get back what you put in. For investment, you get that and more. After building up your savings, then you can invest. When investing, you first need to determine the type of investor you are. You can be conservative, moderate, or aggressive. Then with the help of an investment advisor, you can choose the type of investment you want to go into. Some examples include money market investments, unit trusts, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, or equities.
And that portfolio mix will allow you to achieve your goal with the help of a financial advisor.
Another way to make money is by getting a part-time, one-off, or consultancy job. But we all know that too much work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so it's quite okay to treat yourself. Then there's the issue of a salary increase. Approach it from a business perspective.
I'm here to discuss the possibility of a salary increase. Okay, let's discuss it. Say the company were to consider giving you an increase in salary. What added value could you bring to the table? I would take on additional responsibilities, implement cost-saving measures, and also improve my efficiency.
If the firm is not earning more, whether through cost savings or through additional revenue, it's going to be very difficult for the firm to continue with the same cost base to pay more to employees. That's just a fact of life.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment
reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to
live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
Oh, come, all ye faith, joyful and triumphant, oh, come ye together. Come and behold him, on the King of Kings.
While you plan to achieve your goals in 2015, consider this: making a bigger effort to grow what you eat. For those of you who think you don't have enough space, I'm sure you'll change your mind after you watch this.
This garden is beautiful, right? Well, it took quite some time and a lot of hard work to get it to this stage. Did you get it in someone's backyard? It is. Backyard gardening is one sure way of eating healthy and saving money. Today, both you and I will be learning some important pointers on growing our very own garden. So, come, let's dig some dirt. With me is Master Gardener Rashida Linton. She'll be telling us what to consider when choosing a location for a garden. Rashida, this looks like a good enough location.
It is. This is quite okay. You need to ensure that your property is located in an area that receives anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. Okay. In fact, you need to also ensure that it gets adequate amount of water. It could be either a water tank, a roof gutter, or just a simple tap. You know what? Chris! He's well informed, very experienced. This is his property. Okay. He'll be able to tell you anything you want to know. Chris, this is Kerry. Kerry, this is Chris. She's interested in farming. Please tell her anything she wants to know. See you guys later.
Okay. All right, later. Chris, look like we're going to do some farming. Yeah, all right.
Get geared up. You'll need gloves and rubber boots. First, clear the land of stones, tins, broken glass, or other types of trash and large sticks or plastics that will hinder your plant's growth. Next, use the fork to dig the area and loosen the soil. You may want to make sure that you fork at least 10 to 12 inches or roughly 25 to 35 centimeters so that your plant roots grow easily. This is also the time that you should add whatever animal manure you have to the soil. Also, you may consider adding sand to improve soil structure and drainage. You want a nice crumbly texture. How much manure do you need? Use 1 kilogram or about 2.5 pounds of chicken manure or 4 kilograms or 8 pounds of cow dung or goat manure to 1 square meter or a yard-sized bed. Fork the manure well into the soil and keep forking to mount a raised bed that is at least 3 feet wide or 90 centimeters and 20 to 30 centimeters or 1 to 12 inches high. Keeping the width at 3 feet will make it easier for you to sow, weed, water and reap from the outside in without having to reach too far. To further ensure that your soil is free from pests and diseases, cover the soil with plastic for a few weeks. Cut large garbage bags down to the side seams and lay them on top of the soil to cover. You can use stones around the edges to keep the bags in place. The plastic covering will allow the soil to get heated in the sun, and over time this will kill most of the insects, pests and viruses that might be living in the soil. If you are fencing your plot, you should do that now too. Dig holes at least 1 foot or 30 centimeters. These holes should be at least 2 feet away from each corner of your raised bed. This will give you enough room to walk around as well as bend for sowing, weeding and watering. Next, one by one, set your fence posts in each hole and fill them in. Then, nail chicken wire around your plot, making sure to leave an opening for entrance and exit.
Carrie, this is good, but you know you don't have to go through all this trouble. There's a much simpler way, especially for persons who don't have enough space. It is called containerized gardening. You need to ensure that you have access to good amount of water along with 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. In fact, Bridget has a containerized garden. Let's go and see her.
All right. Chris, thanks.
Thank you.
Bridget, this is Kerry. Kerry, this is Bridget. Hi. Bridget has a container garden. Kerry is interested in doing containerized gardening. Please give her all the information she needs. Later, guys.
All right, then. Take care.
Hi, Kerry.
Hi. You have actually come good time because I'm just about to transplant some tomatoes.
Okay.
Right. So, this is my container.
When you grow in containers, you must have a proper drainage. If you buy clay or plastic flower pots, they will have holes punched in the bottom for this purpose. But if you are making your own, you must make sure you punch holes in the bottoms and sides so that the plants won't get waterlogged and develop root rot. As for getting the right soil mix, making sure you have really good healthy soil is even more important in container gardening than it is in raised bed gardening. That's because the soil in pots is shallower and can dry out more easily. Most container plants do best with a mix of soils. 1 part loamy soil, 1 part sand, and 1 part humus. Because potted soil does not easily retain nutrients, you should add 6 tablespoons of fertilizer to soil. Once you've put the right mix of soil in your pots, allow them to settle for a week or 2 before planting. The next thing to think about is choosing the right crop to grow in your pots. The most ideal plants for container gardening are callaloo, tomato, peppers, lettuce, cabbage, cucumber, legumes, condiments, and herbs.
Thank you so much, Miss Williams, for all your help. Boy, backyard gardening, not easy. But hey, at least now we know about site selection and container gardening. Backyard living, not bad at all.
There is no vaccine for the chikungunya virus. If you've been infected, take paracetamol such as Panadol, Cetamol, and Tylenol to reduce pain and fever. Sleep under mosquito netting and get plenty of rest. Take showers or sponge baths in room temperature water to lower fever, especially in children, and drink lots of fluids to prevent dehydration. If your symptoms worsen, go and see a doctor. Do not take aspirin as this could cause bleeding, and never use rubbing alcohol. To learn more, call 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683.
As we go about our business in the spirit of the season, let's be courteous and disciplined, especially on the roads. We've come to the close of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. We value your feedback, so keep the link. Tell us what you thought of the show. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or hit us up on Twitter @JISnews. Also, click on our website at jis.gov.jm for the very latest government information. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson, urging you to spread peace and joy with the people around you. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.